Sometimes the Colorado Avalanche just have better players than everybody else, and tonight was one of those nights as they take down the Carolina Hurricanes 6-4. I am very impressed with the Avs lately. These past 4 games have been one of their best stretches of the season ever since that 5-game win streak they had. And obviously, they're 2-2 in that time and not 5-0, but it's still impressive. I think their level of play has been very good. And I think there's a lot to like from the Avs right now. Going through this game, the first period didn't start off too great. I do think a lot of this is the fact that the Avs have been doing a lot of one-offs lately. They'll hit the road for a game and then they'll come back for a game. I think it's very weird. I don't love that scheduling for a lot of reasons, but I think it was a little bit awkward for them. Obviously, Carolina even flew in today, so it's not really an excuse. It's just something I've observed and I thought was weird. But Carolina did strike first. They were probably the better team in the first period, although I didn't really dislike the Avs a lot. They were just struggling to get shots actually on net. And as we all know with the Hurricanes, they are very good at just throwing anything and everything on net. Now, the Avs did have some breakdowns, a lot of cross-crease passes that Alexandar Georgiev stopped, but he couldn't stop one. Blake was able to find the first goal of the game. Nice cross-crease pass. Not a lot Georgiev can do there, especially after the big saves he made so far. Need a little bit better defense on the Avs from that one. They found their footing in the first period. It was a little bit all over the place, with a lot of special teams and everything, so it was a little weird. They had their chances, but they weren't able to capitalize. In the second period, things started off not great, and Carolina was able to get a goal. They just went to work with, I believe, was their second or third line. Just worked really hard on the Avs. It was really unfortunate. Prishapov hit a post directly before that, which was really frustrating. Another nice goal. Really hard to nitpick Georgiev on that one. I think he might have been off on his angle a little bit. I don't know really how much of a difference it would have made, but still a nice goal. And then the Avs took a delay of game penalty, and it wasn't looking great. And then Cale Makar decided that he was just going to go full rock star. And then when I say full rock star, I mean full mother effing rock star, because that guy made a play on the puck in his own zone, shorthanded, took it all the way up ice, and ripped a slap shot on the rush. How often do you see that in the NHL anymore? Not only do you rarely see the dudes ripping slap shots off the rush, it went in and it was nasty. Like even Cale Makar, who doesn't sell, he had to drop to a knee, and it was insane. I'm a little bit disappointed I wasn't able to watch it live, because I would have lost my goddamn mind if I had seen that. And then the Avs got yet another goal from a defenseman. Nathan MacKinnon cuts to the net, makes a nice shot for a rebound, and Sam Malinski crashes the net. Like I've been saying time and time again, this was a key to winning for the Avs. They were crashing the net. They were fighting for pucks. They were doing a great job of that. He crashes the net. Sam Malinski, lots of poise, brings that puck to his backhand, slides it under the stick and body of Spencer Martin. Now, Sam Malinski, they clearly have no intention of not playing Sam Malinski at that point, and I don't know why they would. He's been so good for them defensively and offensively. He is a good player, and I would not be surprised if he gets an extension and sticks around this team for a while. I hope they extend him soon, because he might price himself out. And he's a really valuable guy that fits their MO so well, and he makes some guys a little bit more expendable, especially a different Sam like Sam Girard. Not saying the Avs should trade Sam Girard. I'm just saying, there's going to be a big price difference between Sam Malinski and Sam Girard, and you might be able to get some similar results if Malinski continues to improve the way he has. Now, we can talk about that later. Then, bit of an unfortunate goal here. Avs get a little bit unlucky. Carolina just whiffs on a puck while they're on the power play, gives them a little bit of a 2-on-1, and they're able to bury it. Georgiev got a piece of it. In the second and third period, he wasn't quite as good, I don't think, but he still made some big saves, and really all 4 goals that Carolina scored, I was just not really like, oh boy, you need a save there. For Georgiev at this point, it's like you want him to save the ones he has to, and he saved the one he had to, and then a little bit more. He didn't save all the hard ones, but he saved the ones he had to, and he saved some hard ones. He kept the Avs in this game, and that's what you need at this point. And so Carolina takes the lead back. But then Nathan MacKinnon, I was watching this shift. I saw him whiff on a puck, and he's skating backwards, and he slams his stick on the ice. And I'm like, yep, he's scoring here. Because we know how Nathan MacKinnon gets when he's mad. And Sean Walker, former Av, and Shane Gostisbehere got to experience that firsthand, because Nathan MacKinnon just bullied Sean Walker for a puck, took it in on a rush with a 2-on-1 on Mikko Rantanen, and just I'm not. It was a nice fake. Don't get me wrong, but Shea Gostisbehere like took it and ran. It was insane. I've never seen a defenseman bite so hard on a fake on a 2-on-1 in my life. He was already in the middle of the ice. Gostisbehere just gave that up. And MacKinnon was like, okay, well, I'll just go score a goal now. And he just absolutely sniped Spencer Martin. It was pretty nuts. And that was kind of just, I wouldn't say the beginning, but like the Avs really started to jump out there. Their first line was amazing tonight, and everybody got a piece of the action, and it would continue with Artturi Lehkonen, who almost scored on a later shift from a really nice play from Nathan MacKinnon, and on that same shift, Mikko Rantanen would throw a floater on net, and Artturi Lehkonen would just a perfect tip where he pulls that puck back in against the grain and past Spencer Martin. It was nice. It was very funny. It was nice to see him get redemption and not, have to sit with that missed opportunity for too long. Hurricanes would challenge this goal for goaltender interference, and not only do I not think it was goaltender interference, I don't even think they should have challenged it. Spencer Martin was sliding the exact wrong way, and Nathan MacKinnon had no impact on him making that save. Brendan Moore was upset about it after the game, and I don't really understand why. I feel like looking back at it, they're going for the biggest technicality in that, okay, he did touch him, but that's not the spirit of the rule. They're not going for it. Did he actually interfere with Spencer Martin's ability to make the save? No. He just touched Spencer Martin while the goal went in, and it didn't make a difference whether or not the goal went in. On the ensuing power play, the Avs would pick up another one, leading to a 5-on-3. They wouldn't score on that, but because of the penalty they drew, they would score on a power play later. Mikko Rantanen took about 5 shots, all of which got blocked, and then he was like, screw this, I'm sniping it now, and he went post and in on Spencer Martin. It was a very nice shot. A little bit of flashes from that Vegas Game 2 overtime winner he had. It's nice to see Mikko bear in that puck. We would like to see it a little bit more on 5-on-5, but, he's shooting that thing, and I have no qualms with this play so far. And the Avs would carry that 5-3 lead into the third period. Jordan Martinic would get his second of a game. Another goal that I just don't really have a lot of issue with on Georgiev's end, really anyone's end. I believe it's Sam Girard in front. Martinic just tips the puck down. It just goes right to him and he scores. That's like the second or third time that's happened to Georgiev this season. There's a point where I'm just like, dude, I understand he hasn't been good, but my God, can the man get some luck going his way? Like, good heavens. That poor goaltender is just getting nothing in his favor. The Avs played a pretty solid third period, kept a very low event. Carolina would control, but, with the Avs' depleted form and just them having a multi-goal lead, I know it was one goal for quite a while, especially then. They were just pretty content to hold on to it, and they did a good job with it. Mikko Rantanen would score a nice little full-court empty netter to seal the game, and the Avs would get a win that they deserved. They've played 4 good games, and I could make an argument that they could have won and should have won all 4 games. But they've only won 2, and that's unfortunate. But they've still beat a very good Carolina Hurricanes team after battling very hard against a very good Winnipeg Jets team. So I just don't have a lot of issue with their play. I can't be complaining very much. One thing that has really stood out to me these past few games has been the Avs' effort and attention to detail. And I don't think it was lacking before, but I think it was more inconsistent. Like, there were definite flashes of games where they weren't trying as hard as they could, not making right plays, not forechecking as hard as they could. These past few games they have. And tonight I had an issue with the defensive lapses. There were a few too many. The Canes scored on like 3 of them, 3 cross-crease passes. It was just very hard, a very hard situation for Georgiev, and fortunately he did just well enough for the Avs. That can't happen as much. They've been a good enough defensive team, but they have to be a little bit better. They've had some defensive breakdowns these past few games, but those are going to happen. And credit to Georgiev, he's bailed them out more times than he hasn't. And that was an issue that we had, is that not only was he giving up goals that he can't, but he wasn't bailing out the team enough. I wouldn't say he stole the game for the Avs by any means tonight, but he definitely kept them in it when they were struggling, and that was important. And I don't think he hindered them in any way, shape, or form. I think this was a solid game for Georgiev. I'm not going to write home about it. I'm not going to be like he's back, but it's nice to see him put 2 good games together, 2 good wins. It's very encouraging to see. And speaking about the defense, I know that I was just harping on the defense a little bit for their negative play. on their own end, but they did play pretty well offensively. And I don't think it was all bad for them in their defensive zone, just a few too many breakdowns. But 5 of them got points tonight. It was very impressive. Good job from that group tonight. I'll go over my headliners really quick, and that'll probably feed into a little bit more of what I have to say here. But I really was impressed with Cale Makar, Nathan MacKinnon, Mikko, Rantanen, and Artturi Lehkonen. Those are my big headliners for tonight. Obviously, they're the goal scorers for the Avs, but they were also just their best players. From the jump, even when the team was struggling, they were working hard. Like, there were some plays that weren't amazing, but I just felt like I could see the effort and intensity from them, and that's what they needed. I really feel like Mikko and Nate benefited from Lecky being back a lot, because every game since he's been back, they've played very well. I just think they needed that kind of guy with them, you know? But I do think it's funny how the guys scored like their quintessential goal. Like Cale Makar makes an amazing defensive play. He's one of the things that people, I don't want to say underrate, but sometimes people forget about him when it gets lost in the quick skating and the agility and everything like that. It's his ability to turn defense into offense. We see so many times he'll make a great read in the defensive zone, take it up the ice, shove it down the other team's throat, and score. And that's exactly what he did tonight. And that was so impressive. Nathan MacKinnon works hard for a puck, absolutely fakes Shane Gostisbehere out of his short pants, and just makes an amazing shot for a goal. Just got that speed, the skill, the power all in there. And then we got Mikko Rantanen, which is an absolute snipe, and then Artturi Lehkonen getting down and dirty in front of the net for a nice tip goal. I think Cale Makar was just so good tonight, and I won't stop gushing about it. His one play that led to Lehkonen's goal is just incredible. He makes he almost like danced a bunch of dudes on the Hurricanes on that play. He comes back, pickpockets. I think it was Svechnikov. I think it might have been someone else, because Svechnikov was coming back the other way on his back. He pickpockets them, gets the puck, and just rocks Andrei Svechnikov. And I don't know why it's not like he just does this against the Hurricanes, but I don't know if you guys remember a few years ago when he did this against Jordan Staal, but it is very funny. And you forget how powerful Cale Makar is. This was a great display of Cale Makar just being everything. An elite defender, an elite offensive defenseman, and then just a powerful dude. He's rocketing 90-mile-per-hour slap shots on the fly, and he's just sitting dudes down with his body. It's impressive, and it was nice to watch. I definitely think he was the Avs' best player tonight. Some underrated guys, I already mentioned Georgiev. Not a lot to say about him. Solid game. Was pretty good. Guys I liked outside of that, I liked Ivan and Nikolai Kovalenko. They were feeding off each other very well, had a few chances, even got moved up to play with Casey Biddlestat tonight, something I've wanted for a while. Another guy that I really like tonight, I like Parker Kelly. Parker Kelly's shootiness is very good. I like that he just goes and he shoots the puck. And he's not like just throwing the puck, you know. He's making informed shots, and that's something a bottom six guys don't tend to do a lot. And I think a lot of fans aren't his biggest fan right now because he doesn't have many points. He doesn't even have a goal on the season. But I think the issue is he's not a natural center, and he's playing center, and he's also playing on the third line, and he's not a third line player. And I think he'll really slot in to his bottom lines a little bit more. Sam Malinsky is another underrated guy that I love tonight. He played so well. Sam Malinsky was just, he's so good. And I was gushing on him before, so I'm not really going to spend a whole lot of time on him. But Sam Malinsky, my God, this guy's an animal. And it's nice to see the Avs just have such a good decor. Even John Ludwig, I've been pretty impressed with this year. I love the rotation they have going with him and DeHaan. I don't want them to rotate Malinsky out, but I'd like to see Shillington get some more games that don't require an injury. You know, I don't know. I just think there's a lot of good for Shillington to give, and it kind of sucks that he's not even playing, especially for his cap hit. Like, they've got to find a way to give that guy some ice time. Players I didn't like, it's a very short list. I didn't love Kiviranta and O'Connor. Obviously, they get moved down for Ivan and Kovalenko. O'Connor just hasn't been very noticeable this year, and I think part of it is just the adjustment from the hip surgery, but it's not like it's weird because it's not like he looks a step behind. He just doesn't look as confident, like as much of a pest. And what I will say is Logan O'Connor does tend to have these moments throughout the season, these stretches where he's just not very noticeable and he's just not very good. So I'm not worried about it, but I'd like to see him pick that play up a little bit more. And I do think playing with more skilled players and playing in a more suitable role for him will help a lot better, similar to Kelly. And another guy I was not a huge fan of tonight was Joel Kiviranta. Like I said, wasn't bad. Lost a guy on Carolina's third goal. Can't happen. If your thing is going to be penalty killing, you got to be better. And then he misses a wide open chance. Martin wasn't even around where he needed to be. He wasn't even tracking the puck, and Kiviranta just buries it into his chest. So those are my thoughts on the game. I thought the Avs played pretty well. Nice for them to get a win that they probably should have had against Winnipeg. It kind of sucks that they dropped both of those games to Winnipeg and Nashville. Would have been nice to pick up one of them on the road, but it's nice to see them finding their footing at home a little bit more. Monday, they'll get some redemption against the Predators at home. Hopefully, they can make it count. It's going to be Veterans Day. Hoping for a good game there from the guys, a very similar effort. Would be nice to see a little bit more depth help, because it's felt like these past 2 games, it's been mostly the big guns. I know Ivan and Wagner scored, but MacKinnon played a role in those goals, so I'd like to see them just do it without him. There's a chance we see Jonathan Duran back. We'll see. We're getting very close to him and Nichushkin and Wood being back, so the Avs are going to get some big reinforcements. Hopefully they can stockpile some wins before then get back to 500, and then they'll just keep climbing at that point. You know, there's going to be no excuses once those 3 are back. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm hopeful, but we'll see you guys on Monday for that game against Nashville. Have a good one, everybody.